It looks like we're live. So what's been happening this week, Noah?
Yeah, it's been kind of a blur for me.
Oh,
uh,
I lost you for a
Busy at
moment there. I
work
lost your
and
audio, but
uh, oh, this was busy at work and
yeah.
uh, had some had some frustrating days where struggling with the test infrastructure at the company I'm working for now, trying to get things working, and it turned out less to have to do with that in the end to another infrastructure that the software is dependent on that just I didn't understand very well, and I see a lot of inconsistent code when I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing that
Hmm.
makes me think that maybe other people are not
Yeah. So we're talking integration
doing
tests
very
here
good with
that,
what's yeah, you know,
okay. Yeah.
got things running that feeling when you finally figure out why it's not working.
Yeah. Yeah. You either seem to
Because of
have a
that.
terrible connection or something. It's really chopping up on me pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi, but I
Uh,
have the
Wi-Fi
router
is
we
usually
have
not a
right now is
problem.
not
Yeah. Huh. I don't know.
not the best router though. I don't know what its problem is, but it doesn't really like iOS devices that much.
Ah, ah. Are you
Work
usually
just fine.
you said iOS? Are you usually like doing this on an
As it
iPad or
works
something?
just fine. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. You look so stationary. It looks like is it sitting in a stand or something?
I just got it propped to my knee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's funny. That surprises me. I'd expect to see a lot of movement from an iPad, but that's cool. Right on. Well, yeah. So I this week, uh, boy, work has been not that big a deal, not too dramatically up or down. So that's been one thing. But still thinking about this thing with doing a remote conference thing is still I'm pretty jazzed about the idea. So that's kind of the other thing that's been there. My wife has been out of town this weekend. She's going to be back in a bit here. She took my daughters to a like this Girl Scout weekend camp out thing. So they've been gone. It's been just me and the boy for the weekend. So we've been not doing much. I'm a little surprised that we haven't done more. I kind of thought he'd want to go to the swimming pool and some of that kind of stuff, but he's he mostly wanted to play games and hang out. And we watched Rogue One yesterday and some of that stuff. So that's been kind of I don't know. I thought it would be more active, but you know, it's not too. He was at this thing at school. They call it sports camp. It's basically the gym teacher. It has all day gym class. That he's been going to school for all day gym class all week, and so I think after that he's probably ready to just kind of take it easy for a couple days. So that's what we've been doing mostly. So did I lose you? Looks like your video is now still. Oh yeah, you're gone. I guess it's just me. I suppose I could do a monologue for the recording here. Oh, I think you're back.
I actually could still hear you the whole time. Can you
Oh,
hear me
really?
now?
I heard that. Yeah, but you're still kind of real choppy. I make out most of it, I think, but it's not good.
All right. Well, I don't really have any good ideas on how to make it better, and
Yeah,
so I guess we'll
yeah.
just have to live with it unless you want to do your monologue.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but it's all right. I don't know what I would do for a monologue. I'm going to be giving a talk tomorrow on behavior-driven development. So I suppose I could practice that as kind of a monologue. Oh, my girls just got home. That's interesting. I usually close my door to the office, but since nobody's home, I actually have the boy. He's over at grandma's house right now. I, it, I told grandma that we'd come over for lunch, and then I kind of forgot that oh yeah, I have a hangout to do. So I was like, well, I'm going to run home, and then I'll run back and left him over there. So that's I was home alone, and then they're just walking in now. I thought that it was going to be a couple more hours before they got home, but
No, that's all right. I wouldn't feel. I almost forgot today too.
oh really? Yeah.
Bike, and I was getting ready to go for a pretty long ride, and I thought, oh crud, I got to get back.
Cool. Do you do a lot of riding bike?
I usually do a few days a week.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I used to. Geez, at one point years ago, my wife and I only had one car between us, and she drove it most of the time.
Yeah.
So that's when I was going to school, getting my master's, and I was riding my bike back and forth. It was like 7 miles each way,
Yeah.
several days a week. So, but since then, I've got a car now, so I
Yeah.
don't need to ride it. Um,
Yeah.
I thought about riding it to work to this new job, but it's a little more dangerous in this area for one thing,
Mm.
um, and then also there are a lot of hills, and they're steep, and it kills me to go up too many of them at once.
Yeah. When I was in college, I lived with my parents for a while, and I guess about half of my time in college, and it was I had that. It was a pretty significant trip. I don't know, 15 miles or so to get to school, but it was,
Oh, wow.
it was at the edge of the foothills of the Rockies. So I mean, there was some serious up and down hills, and it was a lot harder in the morning than coming home, which is nice. I think that the morning was when I had the energy to handle it, and it was kind of nice. There was kind of one last big uphill stretch on the way home, which was pretty painful. But yeah, I used to like riding the bike to school. That was a different time and a different me. But now
I
I
know.
don't really do much of that kind of stuff, of just getting out on the road and doing that kind of stuff. And you know I play my sports, and I still I lift weights, and that's about the extent of my you know lifting weights is really my only dedicated, this is what I'm doing for my physical condition activity. And playing basketball and racquetball is because it's fun, and it's just something I like to do.
No, I totally understand that. That makes it easier to be committed to it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Played basketball the last couple of weeks though, because they're like completely tearing up the rec center where I play. They're doing all kinds of construction and stuff, and it's still open, but it's so hard to get into and stuff. I play racquetball there too, but on Saturdays they also have swim meets there. So when I usually go to play basketball, there's the parking lot is now inaccessible, and so it's so much more painful to try to get into the place. So my basketball has been on hold a little bit here, but it's cool.
Is it an organized thing or just like a pickup game whenever you?
It's pickup games, yeah. It's they have at this rec center. It's mostly all kids all the time. It's living in this suburban area where everybody has families and stuff. But they have between 7 and 9 on Saturday mornings. It's dedicated to adult basketball. So on that day, then it's just a bunch of dudes come and play pickup ball, and it's a pretty broad mix. I mean, there are some 20 somethings there that are athletic beasts, and then there's a bunch of guys my age and older. There's even one guy that's like 64 or something like that comes and plays. So it is a broad mix, but I mean he's good. He holds his own. I mean it's not like he's an old man on the court. So but I look at that guy and I'm like, that's what I want to be, right? I want to be, when I am that old, I want to still be out on the basketball court. That would be, I think that constitutes success there.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
So
that's
yeah.
observe people from time to time. You see older people and you see such a spectrum of ability.
Yeah.
Once people reach that that age. Yeah, I definitely want to be on that end of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Linda Rising, when she was on the show and 73, and she was talking about, her dedication to exercise. And, I think it speaks for itself, the way she's still able to get out and travel to conferences and do all the things and just, inspire people, right? She's just totally badass and just keeps doing it. And I think, without taking care of herself the way she does, that's probably a different story.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you listen to her? She's actually been on twice. I had her on. I was like, would you talk to my daughter? Right. So I brought her back on with
Yeah.
my daughter. But yeah, she's
So I
outstanding.
actually didn't hit the first episode, but the second one with your daughter, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. It was a little, I mean, she wasn't herself, right? My daughter was, a little camera shy is not the right word when it's audio, but she definitely didn't have her personality on display, but it was still, it was a treat, just getting to see those two interact, and really the before we started recording was the cool part, but that of course is lost, but it was neat.
Yeah, I totally understand. At her young age, just like that. She's very talkative,
Yeah.
just kind of left field, right? But as soon as you put her in front of someone, she can't even find the word hi anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, all three of my kids are that way. They really they clam up whenever there's anybody else around, and yeah, and yeah, at home it's it's a never-ending battle for who's going to talk over somebody else.
Yeah, a very
Yeah,
different
yeah,
dynamic depending on the circumstances, how comfortable they feel.
yeah, that's for sure. Indeed, yeah. Well, I'm surprised we don't have anybody else on here. Jose and Sean have been pretty consistent recently, but you know, Sunday
Yeah,
afternoon, it is what it is.
yeah,
Would a
yeah.
different time
And
work
for
better
you
for you
guys,
than this? Oh, sorry.
someone who joined us the first time last week, I'm surprised he's
Oh yeah, Martin.
not here
Yeah,
either.
yeah. Yeah, he definitely really, he sent me an email that expressed that he really enjoyed that hangout and that he got a lot from it. So I think, yeah, I definitely expect to see him back around on some of these for sure. And he had a lot of good things to say, right? Added a lot to the conversation.
Oh
It
yeah,
was cool.
no, it was fun to have him here, and for a guy who said he was just planning on listening in, he certainly was
Yeah,
very much a participant.
yeah, yeah, and positively so, of course. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
that was cool.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, what did he say? There's like 8 kids in his house or something like that, or some crazy. I think it was 5 girls and 8 total, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the
Or
number was,
two.
but it was
That's
something along
I don't
those
know.
lines. Yeah, yeah, a real Brady bunch there.
That's for sure, man.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, as far as your timing question, I can't as good. It's just going to be hard no matter. It's,
yeah,
during the week, it's almost impossible because it's a very difficult. It consumes most of my time, and then there's not much left over after that. So
yeah, yeah. I think since Kirsten hasn't been on recently, I mean, we could think about this time it's very limited to say what will excuse me, sorry, what also works for Australia, but I think we have a little bit more flexibility if we're just thinking about US and Europe. So and of course, I mean, that's kind of contingent on Kirsten. She basically said she's going to be away from them for a while. So we could probably think about doing it maybe earlier on Sunday or something like that. So it's not right in the middle of the day here in the US. But I don't know. It's one of those things that there's never an ideal, but I think I'll try to keep asking the question just in case there is something that's an improvement.
Okay. Well, if I think the realization that some other time will work consistently better, I'll let you know.
Yeah. 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 Indeed. So what else is new?
Well, went to a company picnic yesterday. That's the first time I ever did anything like that.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I've had fun at some of those kinds of events.
The last company I worked for this party, which
Oh,
so the first time they did it, we were getting ready to have a baby and in the
ah,
hospital. So
yeah.
and then the following year, I don't know, something else came up, so we couldn't be there. The year after that, they basically said no families, just employees.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. I had that once
Yeah,
too.
I went. It was during work hours. It was nice, but disappointing that you might have attended as a family. They changed the structure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Those things are fun and it's cool. And I, I care a lot less about it than my wife does. I mean, she always looks forward to the social event and, being able to get dressed up and, all of those kinds of things. And to me, it's like, okay, let's go drink and have some fun. But yeah, so she was pretty disappointed the one year that our company said no. And it was like you said, it was during work hours, and I mean, there were some successes to celebrate. So I mean that worked out okay. But yeah, it was definitely a lot more fun when it was bring everybody. And I don't know. It's just at the same time, such a like we said, with a mix of different types of people, and there was the younger crew that was there that just getting hammered, and all of that kind of stuff at a lot of those kinds of parties. But it's always a mixed bag.
yeah,
And, yeah.
it was. They put up a bounce house for the kids, and there's one with a big wall on it and a slide on the other side. And I asked my daughter, she's just a little over 2.5, was able to climb up there.
Mm. Yeah, fun.
So yeah, she's tall for her age though.
Cool. I'm missing what you're saying now.
Okay. Well, I know you post that you want to keep this thing since my audio, if we want to call it good at this
Yeah, I think that's
really
that's
not.
probably yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we do. It's good to catch up, but yeah, this is it's
Yeah,
definitely decorated with the experience here. So I think since nobody else has jumped onto this point, let's just go ahead and call it a day. And yeah, your connection has always been fine before. So whatever's going on today, sunspots or something, let's do it again next week.
fair enough.
All right,
I'll
cool.
talk to you
Stopping
then.
the broadcast.